Hey guys, what's up and welcome to Z Reviews Tech. I'm super excited for the Jumper EZBook 3 Plus just because the price is $450 on pre-sale and should rise to $550 normal price, which is quite a steal considering the equivalent Xiaomi Air laptop is regularly priced at $620. To recap, it has an Intel Kaby Lake Core M7Y30, 8GB of RAM and 128GB SSD, and at $550 assuming the laptop is fine is actually not a bad price, and a pre-sale price of $450 is just crazy. However, let's see how complete the EZBook 3 Plus is, and looking at Jumper's past track record, I have pretty high hopes for the EZBook 3 Plus. So first things first, the color and shade of the laptop is kinda off. The body of the laptop is made of aluminum alloy and it looks a lot more like plastic from far, which actually makes this laptop look pretty cheap from certain angles, but once you get up close and personal, the laptop is pretty obviously metal. The finish is pretty decent though, nice chamfered and polished edges, overall pretty well built. We get a nice selection of ports, 2 USB 3.0 ports, micro SD card slot, micro HDMI, and a headphone jack. I would have appreciated a USB-C port, but the port selection is already great. The laptop feels pretty light when it's closed but heavy when it's open, which is probably because of weight distribution. A 14-inch laptop center of gravity gets thrown off a lot easier than a 12-inch laptop. My biggest pet peeve regarding the build quality is how wobbly the screen hinge is. If you shake the laptop hard enough, the screen actually opens. Please make it stiffer next time. Open the laptop up and you see small bezels, not super small like an XPS 13 or even the chewy Lapbook 14.1, but small enough not to be annoying. The keyboard keys are plastic, they're not metal or backlit, so definitely not the highest quality, but the typing experience is relatively good. I can hit my max speed with ease. Key travel is shorter than I would like, but still good enough. There are also full-size arrow keys, home and then page keys on the right, a very nice addition. Moving on to the trackpad, it's huge, absolutely massive, and it's pretty accurate also, at least single finger accuracy. Gestures work very well on Edge and Windows Store apps, they do work less well in Chrome. Two-finger scrolling still not bad in Chrome but noticeably laggier. But all in all, one of the best China laptop trackpads I've seen so far apart from the Xiaomi Air 12. Moving on to the screen, it's a matte IPS 1080p display at 14 inches. The display definitely looks pretty crispy even for a 1080p display, and color reproduction is decent. It's a bit washed out compared to some of the best phone LCD displays, but this one is still decent. Color reproduction is fairly accurate and fairly saturated as well. Viewing angles are actually not that great. If you look at the screen off center, the colors become slightly washed out. Max brightness is about 300 nits, and combined with the matte display, it's viewable in all but the brightest sunlight. So apparently there are 4 speakers, but the end result is fairly loud audio, but definitely not the loudest, but loud enough for most average situations. The audio quality though isn't the greatest, the audio is not very clear, but it could do with more bass. There is some bass, enough for basic stuff. So battery life is confusing just because the Gearbest page and the Windows battery reports do not agree on the battery size, with Windows battery report giving a bigger value. However, my battery testing is a lot closer to the Gearbest page instead of the Windows value, which is about 9600 mAh sadly. I get a normal time of 6 hours using Chrome, YouTube, emails, etc. I could stretch that to 7 hours if my use was less intense, like watching TV all day or using Edge instead of YouTube. Charging this laptop takes about 3 hours and you have to use the built-in DC jack. There is no charging via USB. Windows 10 is activated and we have a 4C 128GB SSD with some pretty decent speeds, and combine that with a Kaby Lake and stuff is blazing fast. Browsing the internet, opening stuff, but surprisingly 4K 60fps still lags on Chrome on this laptop. I ran a couple more intense things like photo and video editing, and I could comfortably edit 1080p and 4K from time to time depending on the bitrate, but do not export on this laptop. Obviously it will take forever. Do it on a desktop. I could play COD Modern Warfare 3 at 1080p no problem at medium settings at around 60fps with the occasional drop to 45 frames per second. The laptop does get warm very easily, especially when exporting video or playing video games, but the laptop never gets hot, most likely because the entire laptop is a heatsink. So Wi-Fi is surprisingly bad. Even though it has an Intel Wireless AC3165 chipset, internet speeds are very erratic, hitting speeds of up to 2 megabytes per second and dropping to 0 the next moment. I did fix it somewhat by turning off power saving mode, but it still happens. I do not know if this is a software or hardware problem, or if it's just a problem with my unit or with every single unit like this, but I do hope it can be fixed, and I will continue looking for the source of the problem. So to conclude, the Jumper EZBook 3 Plus is a great laptop with one huge problem, the Wi-Fi. And I can't tell if it's just my unit or other people have experienced the same problem as mine, because this is the only review of the Jumper EZBook 3 Plus on YouTube at the moment. So let's talk about the rest of the laptop for a moment. Apart from the weird color and sheen of the body and the average battery life, the rest of this laptop is good. And if you do manage to snag the laptop during the pre-sale period for $450, that's a crazy deal. However, I do recommend you check out more reviews to see if the Wi-Fi issue is just limited to my unit or other people have the same problem as well. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.